Hello, and welcome to the Dr. Fred Cooking Show. Today I decided to wear a tie for you. I haven't had a tie on, to be honest, since before the pandemic started. So the last time I had a tie on was in March. But I thought I'd make it a little fancier today because today we're going to do something a little fancier. You know how I love those one pot, one pan meals? But today it's a Sunday, and because of my strong Italian-American heritage, I crave pasta and I crave pasta sauce and all of that on a Sunday meal. So what I've decided to do was to make zucchini lasagna. Delicious. It's going to be a zucchini lasagna bolognese, and I'm going to use turkey instead of ground beef. Now you could completely eliminate the meat and have it vegetarian. You could also use beef, which I've used before as a beef bolognese. But I decided to use a turkey bolognese today because the turkey is really nice and spicy. It's a spicy sausage turkey that is out of the casing. So I decided to use that as a bolognese. So that's what we're going to be making today. I've already made the pasta sauce. That is just some tomato paste, garlic, onion, a few herbs and spices, and of course crushed ground tomatoes. So I've already made that in advance because that takes 2.5 hours to make. So I've already made that, so it's ready to rock and roll. So we're going to take the zucchini and we're going to mandolin them into really thin slices. So let me get the mandolin and we'll be right back. Okay, so I decided what we should do first is to get the bolognese going. So let me just get a spoon out of here, and what we'll do is we'll turn this on to like a medium low maybe, or actually a medium. I think a medium would be perfect. And there goes my stove top again, not doing its thing. There we go. And then I'm just going to take this turkey sausage meat out. And we're just going to put it into the pan. You don't really need, if you use a cast iron skillet like I do, which I love, and as a little bit of trivia, this is sort of my mom's cast iron skillet. I took all of her cast iron skillets, left my sisters with nothing, but that's okay. They got a lot of other things, but I just wanted the cast iron cooking skillets that she taught me how to cook in. So we're really just going to brown that up. Now while we're browning that up, I just want you to see a mandolin. Now this is a mandolin, you may or may not have one, but they're extremely dangerous and they are extremely sharp. So you have to be super careful. But that's how I'm gonna make the thin slices of zucchini that you're gonna need. So in order to do that, let me get a knife. So you want to chop off the ends of the zucchini. Obviously, those need to go away. So we're going to chop them up. And what I'd love to show you, really, is let's just do one. So you must, if you're going to use a mandolin, you have to use the attachment that comes with it. So you just sort of put it in, and then the attachment will slide along this glide and create the zucchini lasagna. There we go. And you've got to remember to apply pressure when you're pushing it down and be very, very, very careful. And so what you will get, so you don't have to keep watching me do this, is zucchini strips that look like pasta. So that's what you will be getting from this. And because zucchini is so watery, and now I'm just browning this, so I just want to make sure it doesn't stick. And because zucchini is so watery, what I'm going to do next after I do this, and I'll show you that in a second, is we're going to actually put the zucchini on a plate, salt it, give it about 15 minutes, then you take a paper towel and you blot all the liquid out of it, so you're not getting just a very runny zucchini, because zucchini is mostly 95% water. So you've got to be a little bit careful with that. So while I'm finishing this up, I'm gonna finish up doing I'm gonna finish up mandolining the zucchini, and then I'll come back and show you what's next. Hi, we're back. So I just wanted to just show you that, ooh, that's too hot. Okay. Let me get a pot holder for that. So the turkey meat is already sauteed, so you can see that. So we're gonna just put that aside. Because we don't want that to overcook, because it's gonna cook more when you put this all in the oven. So here's some mandolin sliced, oops, I should turn the gas off. Here's some mandolin sliced zucchini. So what I'm gonna do is just sprinkle salt on it. And that'll bring out all of its, that will bring out the moisture. So you don't really want the moisture in there. So I'm just gonna sprinkle, I did 4 plates while you were gone, because you don't need to be repetitive with this. And what I will probably do is probably 2 or 3 more zucchinis more, because I like a nice layer, a nice layered lasagna. And that's what we're gonna do. So really the ingredients are zucchini, tomato sauce, garlic, onion, tomatoes obviously. I'm using today turkey sausage and zucchini, mozzarella cheese, a little bit of Parmesan, and I'm gonna put some ricotta cheese in this as well, because I'm just feeling it today. All right, so that's that. We will be back when there's more to show you. Hello, so it's been about 15 minutes. All the zucchini is cut up, salted, and if you can see, I don't know if you can see this quite well because of the lighting, but the plate is moist. So I'm just gonna pat off all the moisture off of the zucchini. Yeah, see how wet the paper towel got? I'm just gonna get rid of all of that moisture, because otherwise, when you cook it, it'll be too wet and gloppy, so it won't really feel like a lasagna. So I'm gonna show you how to layer it, and then I'll turn off the camera again, because you don't need to watch me layer each and every single one of these. But let me just wipe down another batch of these, because there's not gonna be enough. Now, as for cooking what you cook in, you know, I'm a big fan of cooking in glass. Obviously, we're gonna put it in this nice glass Pyrex thing. Dutch oven, which is really good to use. Again, things that aren't going to, like, you don't want to use a lot of things with Teflon, things of that nature, aluminum. See, now look how wet this paper towel is. I can't even use it for any more of them. I'm gonna use it for one more, because I hate to waste paper. We'll use it for one more batch. This was the little thinner batch at the beginning. That was the first batch. So it's really simple to do. So you take a little bit of the, let's see, let's move this over here. Let's move this here so you can see a little bit better. I'm gonna take a little bit of the tomato sauce, and I'm just gonna ladle it in here, a little bit. Again, you know, I'm not a big, it's very hard for me to measure things, because we never really measured things when I was a child. That's why when I write those recipes in all of my books, I have to do it like 42 times, because otherwise I won't get it right. Because I've got to make sure that the mixture. So you just want to put a little bit on the bottom so that the zucchini don't stick to the bottom. That would be the same. Then I always throw in a little Parmesan. My big thing is just, you know, sauce, Parmesan, then the noodle, which would be zucchini in our case. So we're just gonna take it and we're gonna layer it down, just like you would lasagna noodles or anything else. It's the same exact thing. You layer it in. I'm gonna do one layer for you. And as you can see, guess how many antioxidants we have in this dish? We've got zucchini, which is amazing. We've got tomato, which now that it's cooked, you get a lot of the lycopene, so that's good for us men, for the lycopene for our prostate. We're putting in this is a little bit of a dairy-heavy dish. You could, of course, choose to use vegan dairy, which would work as well. And if you used vegan dairy and did not use any of the, and you didn't use meat, it would be a totally, completely vegan dish. So that's the beauty of this dish, is that you can make it into a million different ways with the same recipe. And that's, as you know, that's what I love to do, because making something like this, I mean, it'll feed an entire family. For me, I will use it multiple times during this week. And the zucchini is still giving off water. So I would recommend that you just keep dabbing them until all of the water is out, because the more water that's out, the better it's going to be for you and the tastier the dish is going to be. Now, I'm not layering them in any particular order. As you noticed, I'm just layering them as I see them, where I think the gaps need to be filled in. And if you like it a little thicker noodle, you make a thicker zucchini. If you like it a little thinner, you make thinner. But I have so much, so I'm just gonna double layer the bottom one. So there's a little bit of extra layer in there. And then, just so that you can see what I'm doing, is then next what I would do is pour a little bit more sauce. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put a little of the meat in here. Now I know I'm using my hands, but I'm the only one that's gonna be eating this, so it's okay. But you can get whatever instrument you like to use for that. And I'm gonna pour a little bit of that. And the reason I put the meat in separately from the sauce is so that you can space it out more, depending on how many layers you have. Because once once you put this into the sauce to make a proper bolognese, it's gonna bolognese up in just by itself, right? Because it's all the ingredients are in here. So we're gonna do that. Then I'm going to put a little bit of ricotta cheese, which is, I think, amazing. I love this cheese, it's one of my favorite. And good ricotta cheese will be made from sheep milk, not from cow's milk. So please remember that when you're buying it, because that's really the real Italian. Italians would never even think, true Italians would never even think of using cow's milk ricotta. They don't even know what that is. Like when I was in Sicily, I'll tell you a funny story. When I was in Sicily in October, they were saying, because they were passing some funny law about not being able to use sheep milk and all of that stuff, typical Italians worrying about their food situation. And they were saying, cow's milk, that's yellow. Who would ever think of using that for cheese? So it was really kind of funny. I mean, it's interesting how different cultures react to food differently. But yeah, I am going to lick my finger, that's too bad. And then I'm just gonna take some mozzarella, shredded mozzarella. I already bought it shredded. I don't think I bought enough, but that's okay. We'll just pour some mozzarella in there. Then we pour the sauce over that just to cover it. Just to cover that up a little bit. Because this is gonna be a liquidy dish, so you don't wanna put too much liquid in. And if you do, you just keep it in the oven longer. And then Parmesan, and then we're gonna repeat the whole thing over again. So I will show you what this looks like before I put it into a 400-degree oven for about 30-35 minutes. And I will show you what that looks like, and I'm gonna preheat the oven as I shut the camera off. Okay, so that took about 15 minutes to put this together. So here you are, this is the entire, it looks like lasagna, right? There should be a little bit more red sauce on top, but I ran out, unfortunately. I'm not used to making this much for one person. But the thing is, when I got my delivery from the grocery store, they gave me way too many zucchini, so I figured I have to do something with it. So I ran out of sauce, so that's fine. I just covered the top with Parmesan and what was left over of the mozzarella cheese. And we're gonna put it in the oven for about 35, maybe 40 minutes. And I will show you what it looks like before I eat it, because I'm starving now. So let me put it in the oven, which has been preheated to 400. So I'm just gonna put it in the oven and wait for that deliciousness to sink in. So I hope you're hungry, because I certainly am.